FMS is celebrating their 18th birthday. One of the things they're doing to celebrate is by releasing this brand new K5 Blazer Pro model. This is an updated and upgraded FCX24 K5 Blazer. Features a number of different upgrades, including special 18th anniversary edition livery, comes in 2 different colors. We get the upgraded radio system. Oh, and we get a brushless motor system in this from the factory. FMS is debuting their first ever factory brushless system in this FCX24. This is an exciting new upgrade for this truck. They've kept a lot of the other features the same, but they've reinforced some critical components in the gearbox and the axles to support the extra power. So let's take a closer look at this thing. We're going to do a quick overview of the key features of this truck. I've done lots of content on the FCX24, but we'll hit the highlights, then we'll get into the new features like the brushless ESC and motor combination. So let's jump in and check this thing out. All right, let's hit some of the highlights of this thing. First off, let's start out with the exterior. So the FCX24 K5 Blazer features this fully licensed Chevy Blazer hardbody. Looks fantastic with all the scale details that they've done on this thing. We've got chrome mirrors, integrated door handles, the chrome grille with the Chevy emblem, chrome plastic bumpers front and rear. We've got the Cheyenne decals, K5 Blazer on the side. This also features the 18th anniversary edition livery, like I said. With that, you get this kind of metallic red paint, very similar to the McHugh mod from Fair RC, except we get a white Blazer top here. This is removable and configurable. You can put the roll cage on here that comes with the truck. I mentioned it comes in 2 different colors. There is a blue as well. We get functioning headlights, we get clear tail lamps in the back, but those are non-functional. Tinted windows here with no interior. Truck sits on these nice scale-looking plastic beadlock wheels. We've got nice soft tires here. The insert is a little stiff, but the compound feels good, and the package does look pretty scale on this truck. The truck sits on oil-filled shocks. These come oil-filled from the factory. This used to be a friction damped by default with an oil option if you wanted to do the conversion. Now these come already oil filled, which gives this a much more composed scale feel. You don't get the bounce that you normally get from friction damped shocks. Underneath, we can see that the truck sits on the familiar FCX24 portal axles. These have metal gears in the portals. We do retain these plastic slider style drive shafts. We've got metal lower links, composite upper Y links here, and we've got metal pivot hardware. Also got metal differential gears here. So metal gears in the portals, metal in the diffs, metal in the transmission to support the extra power from the brushless motor, which we'll get into in a minute. Now let's get into the good stuff here. So to remove the body, we still have our 4 clips. Just pinch the front and the rear. And underneath, this is where we see the good stuff here, the new stuff. We still retain the nylon chassis from the FCX24, but the layout on the inside is completely new, as you can see. So up front, we have our brushless ESC. Now this is a fully enclosed dustproof and waterproof setup here. It's a 30 amp ESC capable of only up to 2S on this. It's got a 6-volt BEC output. It is not programmable, but it does have a bunch of safety features built in. It's got your low voltage cutoff, overheatage protection, signal loss, all kind of your default protections are built in. It does say that the firmware is upgradable via Bluetooth, but I don't see any reference to an app or anything like that, so we'll have to explore that down the road. The ESC connects to this small little receiver in the back here, and this is very familiar if you've done anything with the FuriTech integrated components for the FMS lineup. Very similar micro receiver here tucked back behind the motor. This is also a waterproof design here, so the 2 primary components of the electronics are dustproof and waterproof. This combination runs this new brushless Outrunner motor. As you can see, they've got a dust cover on here, but it's very simple to pop off. There's just a couple of tabs here. The whole thing comes off like a tray. It has your receiver on there, dust cover as well. With the dust cover off, we can see the Outrunner motor here. So this is a very small and compact 3200 kV motor. Looks like it's got Predator logo stamped onto it. Nice kind of gunmetal silver coloring. Looks a lot like the small Outrunner motors that we've seen from FuriTech, Little Guy Racing Parts. Very similar design and overall size and shape. The motor mates to the familiar 2-speed transmission, and we've got metal gears in here as well, according to the box. We retain the 2-speed feature here, operated by this variable speed servo. So we retain a lot of the great performance functions that we're used to with the FCX24 platform. We've now just got a fully integrated brushless system from the factory. One thing to note, the receiver and the ESC are waterproof. I'm unsure about the motor. Typically these Outrunner style brushless motors are not waterproof, so we'll have to look into that a little bit more. The truck does come ready to run. Comes with your 2S LiPo battery pre-installed. Inside the package you get your detailed owner's manual. You get a bunch of accessories here. You get some license plate stickers to customize it. Get your T-wrench. You get an Allen wrench. You get a small Phillips head screwdriver. You get all of your components and hardware to build out your roll cage with your light bar. The light bar is not functional, but these light pods can accept LEDs if you want to put them in down the road. Some shock spacers to help you tune your shocks and possibly reduce or mitigate torque twist. And you get your basic wall charger. We also get the good radio with this model. We get the upgraded 2.4 gigahertz transmitter with the additional customization on these little switches here, so you can toggle between forward brake reverse or forward reverse, change your battery type, and customize your drag brake with these two little switches here. And of course we get your basic trim and dual rate functionality. On the side we have channel 3 to operate the 2-speed transmission. Alright, we've been patient enough. Let's fire this thing up so you can see the brushless motor in action. To turn it on, we've got this little push button switch here underneath. I'm going to leave the dust cover off for right now so you can see the motor. Make sure we're low speed. Yes, there we go. Very nice. Not a lot of slop in there as well. A little bit switching between forward and reverse. So do those portal gears and all the mechanics in there. Smooth and quiet. Nice and linear. Feels very good. Whisper, whisper quiet. I can hear the mechanics in the transmission and the driveline moving around, but the ESC makes zero noise. Nice and slow in low gear. That's top speed right there, which I personally really like. You know, that gives it a nice low, creepy crawly, slow speed capability in first gear. We switch it into high gear. I'm afraid to see what's going to happen here on the table. Whoa! Oh. Chaos here. This thing's at plenty of wheel speed in high gear, so lots of fun with this truck. You're going to be able to rip it in high gear if you want, switch it down into low gear, get that rock crawling capability. Really fun power plant here. Great job FMS with this brushless system. Let's do our typical performance tests. I don't remember if I had all this equipment when I had the K5 Blazer first on the table. Start with the RTI, ramp travel index, see how much we got for articulation. That's probably it right there. I would say about 13.5 on the RTI. Let's check our side hill. Say 43 on the side hill. Now the vertical. 40, 45, 50, starting to lift. 52 on the vertical. Here we are on the four corner scales with the K5. Weight distribution, we've got a 51% front, 49% rear, slightly biased to the right at 51% to the right, 49% left. This is with the battery in it. Total weight of 489 grams. One of the things I'm curious about too is the speed. Let's see how it compares to a brushed K5 FCX24. Now the Black Blazer does have an upgraded motor. It has the Batrazi upgraded brushed motor, but it does have some brass, so it's going to be heavier. So let's see how these things do together. In low gear first. Now let's try it in high gear. And let's try it on the indoor course as well. Why not? I'm finding out I don't think we do have control of the lights. Pushing the channel 4, nothing is happening with my lights. So those might be on for good. I'll experiment with that a little bit more when I have some more time, but haven't been able to turn those off. Anyway, let's hit the course and see how this does. I don't have high expectations for this in stock form. The powertrain is exceptional in this, but the rest of the truck, it's going to be a little bit top heavy. I think the tires are going to struggle on this surface, but we'll see. overhang from those bumpers hurting us there a little bit, getting hung up on the corner. Still have decent approach and departure angle there. The portal axle should help us through this section. My bumper's hung up there. We'll wiggle ourselves out. If I can reposition for the canyon here. The extra power, I'm able to bump up and over some of these initial ledges. Still getting stuck here though. We saw with that weight bias, it's going to be tricky. I don't think we're going to do it. Hand of God, get up on top of the canyon. We'll go across and then hit our challenge lines. Love the adjustable drag brake on the fly with this, making that descent nice and controlled. All right, let's see what we can get done in Mini Moab here. Making it through the gatekeeper, just kind of creeping our way through. I'm leaning awfully hard here though. Oh no. Get that front tire to bite. Pull us up and over. I'm drifting off to the passenger side. It's hurting me. Whoa. One more try. Oh, I don't think it's going to do it. I think it's just too top heavy. With that even weight distribution, I don't have enough in the front to stick it. Alright, well we know if I can't even make the escalator, I'm not going to try Hell's Gate. So why don't we go outside and hit the rocks and the trails, see how this thing does out in the real world. Give it a shot outdoors and see how it does. Right guys, out here with the FCX24 18th anniversary edition. I got my new GoPro. I'm going to try to use this for my camera. Hopefully this works out okay. I got the chest mount on. I'm going to do some speed runs and things for you guys right now. We are in first gear, or low gear rather. There's high gear. Oh! High gear isn't as fast as I was expecting. It doesn't feel, probably because of the, I don't know if it's because of the gearing or maybe the KV of the motor, I'm not sure. It is faster, not extremely fast, which I find to be good. For this type of truck, you don't need a ton of wheel speed. As you can see, it's already top heavy enough. It'd be a rollover machine at speed for sure. Portal axle's getting us over these kind of golf ball sized rocks that usually cause a lot of problems for the mini crawlers out here. Be able to slow it down so well. Great motor out of this. The electronics, very nice. Tires are struggling a little bit here. You know, stock tires on these RTRs aren't fantastic. But being able to slow it down the way that we can, be able to get a lot of functionality out of it. Down here in this washout area, this should be a good place to test the minis. This is a great spot for these guys. It's Got just challenging enough lines for a scale rig, especially. I'm gonna try to slow this down. Get over here. There we go. You have got the power to bump if you need to. Even in low gear, which is pretty low, still got the torque and the punch. Very nice. Look at that grip, man, I'm surprised. Nice job going through there. It looks so good too, the scale hard body on there. Really like the look of the K5 Blazer on this platform. I also love that they reinforced all of the gears. They didn't just throw the brushless system in here and not address the rest of the drivetrain. I really appreciate that. So you can drive it with a new powerful motor with confidence that nothing's going to break in the driveline. Retaining those plastic slider style drive shafts, I think it's probably going to be the weak link with this thing. Especially when you start adding weight, putting some grippier tires on it. We'll see how those drive shafts hold up, but I think that's going to be the weak link on this. Probably throw some steel drive shafts on here and call it good. Whoa! It's like a rocket ship. I'm going to bump it in second gear. It got us out though. Whoa! Nice save. Like the oil-filled shocks give us a nice composed drive here. Realistic look and also more control and predictability in the suspension action. Oh, look at that. Little Blazer's in a war right now. Oh, nice. So getting a little bit of understeer for those tires as well. They're just pushing in this soft terrain. Nice, again, surprisingly planted on the side hill there. Good run up through the washout. The FCX24 Pro is everything you would expect it to be. It retains all of the great characteristics of the FCX24 K5 Blazer, the great looks, the functional components of the chassis with the portal axles, the 2-speed transmission. It's just been significantly beefed up with this excellent new powertrain. FMS has really done a great job with this brushless system. Only once or twice did I have any issues whatsoever with it as far as cogging or hitching or anything like that goes. It happens so infrequently I wasn't even able to catch it on camera. But only once in a very great while would I get a little bit of cogging and hesitation under heavy resistance. Super cool to see that they've released a brushless system, and I really hope that this is available as a standalone upgrade or comes standard in more upgraded Pro models to come. Big shout out to FMS though, and happy 18th birthday to FMS. They're a great company, wonderful people to work with. The FCX24 was actually my very first sponsored vehicle on the channel. FMS was one of the first companies to take a chance on me when I was first getting started. It's great to see them continuing to grow and pushing the envelope with these mini crawlers. I'll put the link in the description down below on where you could order the FCX24 Pro. And guys, let me know in the comments, what do you think of the brushless K5? And as always, I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so, and I'll see you in the next video.